Years later, I'm the prince, bro. I can never be gay, bro. I got 2 sons, bro.
We can never be gay.
I ain't gay. The weed, I how fat these blunts is, you know I ain't gay.
Exclusive leaked audio of the 911 call reporting Rich Homie Quan's death has just surfaced, and fans are convinced there's more to his passing than what's being reported.
Let's stay on the line with you, okay?
Okay.
Amber 911 operator 7214. What is the location of your emergency? All right, you need police, fire, or ambulance?
I need an ambulance.
Tell me exactly what happened.
My boyfriend, he's been asleep on the couch since this morning. Well, he never came to bed last night. Sleep on the couch. I left him on the couch before I took my son to school this morning, put a blanket over him. And now I just checked on him again because he never got up. I don't feel a heartbeat. I don't see him breathing.
And you said, hold on, you said on the couch, and what happened?
I said I put a cover over him because it gets a little cool. He's in the living room. And now I just checked on him because I see he never got up. And I don't see him breathing. I don't feel a heartbeat or anything. And I turned him over. I see he kind of foamed at the mouth.
I'm sorry, are you saying he's not breathing? Is that correct? I'm not hearing you.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. If there's
Yes.
a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
Is there a what?
If there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay, I'm sending the paramedics to help you now. Stay on the line and I'll tell you exactly what to do next.
Okay.
On September 5, 2024, Rich Homie Quan's girlfriend called 911, saying she found him unresponsive on the couch. He wasn't breathing, and she begged paramedics to come quickly. Later, it was revealed that Quan had passed away from an alleged codeine and fentanyl overdose. In the call, his girlfriend is heard trying to save him, telling the operator that Quan had foam around his mouth.
I need to know about how old he is.
He's 34.
Okay, are you right by him now?
Yes.
Okay, please put your phone on speaker so your hands are free to help.
Can I add his dad to the call? He's trying to call me back because I called him first before I called you.
Okay, so we need to help your boyfriend now. Okay, listen carefully. Lay him flat on his back on the floor and remove anything under his head.
He is not waking up. Quick.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, you gotta get him to the floor. Lay him flat on his back on the floor and remove anything under his head.
Flat on his back on the floor?
Yes, ma'am.
Help me.
What's Drake?
He's not here.
Yeah,
Were you able to get him to the floor?
Yes, he's not. His heart not beating or anything.
Investigators later confirmed that Quan had been battling addiction for years, and someone in Hollywood had provided him with pills laced with fentanyl.
A month after his passing, a cause of death has now been released for Atlanta rapper Rich Homie Quan.
Medical examiners say he died from an accidental overdose. They found 4 substances, including fentanyl and codeine, in his system. After his death, Quan's brother told police he thought he was asleep on the floor by the kitchen. Rich Homie Quan was one of the biggest names in hip-hop, especially in the city of Atlanta. He was 33 years old.
Quan had spoken publicly about his struggles with drug use. In a past No Jumper interview, he admitted that he had been using Molly every day for 2 years straight. His addiction even affected his career. He once collapsed on stage in Atlanta, suffering 2 seizures and cracking his head on set. He denied that drugs caused the incident, but was always open about his past substance use.
I prove, but I'm partying so hard and I'm on the Molly so gone. I'm thinking it's hard.
That was your biggest issue at that time?
Yeah, Molly. I was on that Molly like every day, bro.
You weren't a lean guy as much?
Yeah.
Lean and Molly.
But I still silk, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, like Molly had me gone, bro. I was like on Molly, like them Rich Gang days. Like I was on Molly probably like 2 years straight, like every day. Like I'm taking Molly before I go brush my teeth.
Jeez.
You feel me? And
so that's no way to live.
No way to live, bro. But then that's when I started feeling like my music was like falling out. I was caught up, like I was lost in the South.
Right.
Cause when I'm doing the Molly right now, I'm up, like Flex, my biggest song, you know what I'm saying? By myself, double platinum, like I'm up.
According to rapper Hurricane Chris, fentanyl-laced pills are common on the streets, and Quan may have unknowingly taken a fake batch, leading to his tragic overdose.
Attitude, never talked bad about anybody, was happy to be in the position that he's in, but they're saying it's over an overdose.
That's some fake ass pills, bro. 9 times out of 10, it's probably them fake ass pills. Like, I don't knock nobody who do what they do, but it's too dangerous to get anything off the streets. I don't know if that's the case, but it need to be said anyway. Like, this shit is fucked up, bro.
If you're doing street drugs in 2024, you must not like living all that much.
Facts. Like, you gambling with your life when you swallow that pill that you got from your homeboy. Even if he said he got it from the doctor, like, don't believe that shit. If you didn't go to a doctor and get that shit as your medication, don't take it. Even if somebody's selling it to you, got the pill bottle. There could be an old pill bottle they had, and they putting new fake pills in it. Like, it's a dangerous game if you out here taking drugs. You gotta really, like, pay attention.
Quan also had ties to dangerous people. While under the influence, he admitted to committing multiple burglaries. He and his friends would break into homes during the day, stealing small valuables while making sure no one was inside, knowing that breaking in while someone was home would lead to a harsher prison sentence.
I took that little trick and made it my trick, and that trick was burglary.
So actually going in people's cribs.
Going, kicking in door. But not no home invasion. We wasn't going in there when nobody was there. I wasn't going to nobody house when nobody was there. It was only like, you know what I'm saying, like during the day. I wouldn't even do no cat time burglary at night because you get more time for that. So we'll do daytime burglary. Because cat time burglary, you getting way more time for that. So wait to go to work in the morning. Oh, kick your shit in. We don't want
even at that young age, you was aware of the law. Like, yo, if I do this at night, I'm getting more time.
I'm smart as hell. You gotta think, so I know that. Like, yeah, so like, if I'm gonna get some money, then I ain't never been to jail. So you gotta think, like, my first time doing it, I got locked up. My first time doing it, my first burglary, I get locked up. But it wasn't my fault because this would really put me on burglary. I got a buddy, he was my best friend in high school, one of my best friends, DeAndre. Shout out my buddy.
But who gave Quan the laced pills? Online rumors suggest that the dealer was connected to Diddy. Allegedly, Diddy had it out for Quan because of his beef with Young Thug and controversial comments Quan made during an Instagram live. Diddy has a reputation for violent retaliation. He even blew up Kid Cudi's car just because Cudi was friends with Cassie. Making things even more suspicious, Kim Porter, Diddy's ex, was also found with foam around her mouth when she died.
Holmes told Miss Ventura that he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car and that he wanted to ensure that Kid Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. Around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. So now we have that allegation, and we have the mention of arson in the indictment. But then, we go to the government's bail letter that they filed with the court. They were advocating that Combs be denied bail. He has been twice. And they allege, quote, in the early morning hours of December 22nd, 2011, the defendant and a co-conspirator kidnapped an individual at gunpoint to facilitate breaking into and entering the residence of Individual 1. By the way, Individual 1 is not named, but we'll get to that. Multiple witnesses would testify at trial to the events surrounding the kidnapping and break-in, the latter of which is corroborated by police reports and other records. Approximately 2 weeks later, the defendant's co-conspirators set fire to Individual 1's vehicle by slicing open the car's convertible top and dropping a Molotov cocktail inside the interior. Police and fire department reports extensively document the arson, and conclude that the fire was intentionally set. Multiple witnesses would also testify to the defendant bragging about his role in destroying individual one's car. Hence, why we can make the argument that they are referencing Kid Cudi. This echoes Ventura and the...
Diddy has created a culture of violence in Hollywood. According to law enforcement sources, during the raid on his mansion, police discovered massive amounts of drugs, weapons, and lube, proving he was even worse than Jeffrey Epstein. Diddy has been accused of arson, sexual assault, and even forced prostitution. Back in 1999, reports surfaced that he allegedly shot someone.
Ladies at a party, for years, P. Diddy's gotten a hall pass. He's actually created his own kingdom where he makes his own rules, and you got to follow his rules or you get penalized. And guess what, Laura? He's now in a federal penitentiary, and for the first time in his life, he's facing his own fate at the hands of somebody else. And I will tell you, Laura, I've done federal cases, that's not the place you want to be in federal court. 90% of federal criminal indictments brought down are pled out, right? A plea deal is brought. And of the only 10% left, 90% of those defendants that go to trial, they lose. So he is looking at a daunting uphill battle to fight these horrible charges.
Now, Brian, one of the DHS agents involved in this raid on his Miami mansion described what he saw inside the house, saying that, in my opinion, he's as bad as Epstein. These women are young, either barely legal or barely illegal. Brian, this sounds like he was a monster.
Yeah, Laura, I will tell you that this indictment was very detailed, by the way, too. Your viewers should know there were over 300 subpoenas served, over 50 witnesses interviewed. Why is that important? Because the federal prosecutors aren't going to be leveling an indictment like this unless they have ammunition and they have cause to bring it.
In the court of public opinion, the media, it's about timing. You build people up, you tear them down. These are not new allegations against him. They're just making a new approach at attacking him. That's fine. That's one discussion about our culture and canceling. But legally, a bulletproof indictment, I can't believe that prosecutors are looking at bad behavior from his college days. What do you think this is about?
Well, all I can say is if the Southern District of New York has a grand jury investigation, they're going to cross every T and dot every I, and this is not good news for Diddy. And as I understand it, they're calling in male and female people involved in sex trafficking, and this could be a major indictment probably in about 4 to 5 months. They're not going to do it right away.
Is Diddy using drugs as a weapon to control celebrities in the industry? According to his former assistant Philip Pines, the answer is yes. Diddy would invite industry figures to his private parties where he would get them high and drunk, then record their actions to use as blackmail. He allegedly forced his closest friends to take drugs, and now there are even claims that his own sons are involved in similar behavior.
Morning, new details allegedly inside Diddy's world before his shocking arrest. The entertainment mogul now behind bars for federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges.
It was a circus. He did whatever he wanted, and we were just at his disposal.
Phil Pines was Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021. He says his then boss asked him to purchase supplies for parties dubbed Wild King Nights.
We usually had a laundry list of items that included lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine. Those requests started to become more frequent.
Pines claims many of these parties involved younger women.
A lot of times you would have him with a younger female, and there's a power dynamic there. A more impressionable girl is easier to reel in. Consent is between the people that are engaging, and I wasn't there in these situations to understand the consent.
Yes. One of the things is, the thing that stuck out to me, you mentioned it before, these allegations are so consistent with what the allegations are that are laid out by prosecutors when they describe the freak-offs in their indictment, right? These sex-fueled parties, these drug-fueled parties, the baby oil, the Astroglide, and it makes me wonder, A, do you think Mr. Pines is a cooperating witness for the government? B, If so, do you think he was one of the people that they originally spoke to when they were coming up with this, when they were drafting the indictment and coming up with the charges? Or do you think he's come out after? Because again, I think the timing of the lawsuit's important too, at the end of the year, right now. Talk to me about what you think his role might be.
If I had to guess, I would figure that the feds already talked to him, just because I know from my experience dealing with them how all-encompassing their investigations are. And if he really was his executive assistant from the time frame that they allege in the lawsuit, I can't see a scenario where they wouldn't. I mean, they investigate regular cases to the point that that I'm shocked when I see it as a criminal defense attorney with regular people. When you're talking about a high-profile celebrity case like this, I can't fathom that no one spoke to this individual prior to this. So I would think that, they did speak to him. And I can't imagine that he's not a witness, because the way that they work is they want everybody that can corroborate their theory of the case to be on their witness list, or to be somebody that they could call. And I can't think that if he actually was his assistant for this time frame, he would be an excellent witness.
Even from behind bars, Diddy is still pulling strings. Reports suggest he's using his outside connections to threaten and harass anyone speaking out against him. Many alleged victims have received anonymous phone calls, warning them to stay silent. Call logs from the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, confirm this activity, which is part of the reason why Diddy keeps getting denied bail.
This morning in the sex trafficking case against Sean Diddy Combs, prosecutors now claiming that from behind bars, Combs has been trying to reach out to victims and possible witnesses. And ABC's Phil Lipoff is here now with this story. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning, Gio. Diddy's lawyers trying for a third time to get him out on bail, but this time, the prosecution telling the judge about attempts they say the rap mogul made from behind bars to influence everyone from potential jury to alleged victims. This morning, prosecutors leveling new accusations against Sean Diddy Combs, saying he poses a serious risk of danger even from behind bars as he awaits trial. In a court filing late Friday, prosecutors detailing the steps they say Combs is taking while locked up to reach out to prospective witnesses and influence public opinion to affect potential jurors.
The accusations within the prosecution's motion to deny bail are very serious and will be considered very heavily by the judge, because the judge is going to want to ensure that he is not influencing witnesses and or contacting anyone to influence a trial in any way.
Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges of racketeering, transportation to engage in prostitution, and sex trafficking. He denies any wrongdoing. The government now asking a judge not to grant Combs' third request for bail, in which the music mogul offers a $50 million bail package, citing new evidence and changed circumstances.
An interesting twist in the case is that Diddy's lawyers are quitting, suggesting they see no way to save him. Just last week, his defense team tried to dismiss the charges, claiming the case was racially motivated. But now, Anthony Rico, a top death penalty attorney on Diddy's legal team, has filed a motion to withdraw from the case.
He's doing fine. It's a difficult circumstance. He's making the best of the situation.
A situation one of Diddy's attorneys won't be part of moving forward. Anthony Rico announcing in court docs, under no circumstances can he continue defending the embattled rapper.
This is a serious proceeding with serious consequences, and all of us are addressing it accordingly.
In a motion filed on Thursday, Rico stopped short of revealing why he's stepping down from Diddy's legal team, just months ahead of the music mogul's scheduled trial date in May for sex trafficking and racketeering charges, all of which Diddy's denied.
You know, Dr. King called it the law of unintended consequences. So sometimes the more you push a person down, the stronger they get.
That's Rico speaking up late last year for his now former client. ET's learned the attorney's exit will not affect Diddy's other attorneys, nor their defense strategy.
I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. He has been ready to defend this case since he first found out about this case. Nothing has changed from his perspective.
You're going to hear about my party. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me.
After Diddy was arrested, Rico said he provided a high level of legal representation. But now, for reasons unknown, he can under no circumstances effectively serve in the upcoming trial.
Nobody's okay with staying in jail for now.
and high-profile death penalty attorney Anthony Rico. Now, while the pair joined around the same time, Anthony in a court filing on Friday said he's leaving the case. In the filing, Anthony Rico said, quote, "For the reasons set forth below, this motion for withdrawals is filed so that Sean Combs may move forward with his defense and to commence jury selection and trial without any delay. As a result of discussion with lead counsel Mark Agnifilo, this motion for withdrawal of counsel is filed. While I am aware that the local rule requires that an application for withdrawal of counsel is supported and granted, there are sufficient reasons related to protections afforded by the attorney-client privilege for brevity in my application for withdrawal as counsel in this case. Although I have provided Sean Combs with the high level of legal representation expected by the court, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs," end quote. Now, essentially in legalese, I quit, but I can't go into details because of attorney-client privilege. According to the filing, though, the defense shakeup won't delay the case. Diddy will continue with 5 attorneys. That's Mark Agnifilo, Tenny Garagos, Alexandra Shapiro, Jason A. Driscoll, and Anna Esteval. Now, a judge still has to sign off on the motion, but with the government taking no position on it and the fact Anthony Rico spoke with Mark Agnifilo about it before filing the motion, a judge will likely sign off on it.
At the same time, Diddy's legal team is fighting to suppress key evidence. They're arguing that the search warrant for his Miami mansion was illegal and are pushing to block the FBI from decrypting data found on his computers. Why? Because they know what's on those tapes, and they don't want them played in court.
Combs is asking a judge to suppress evidence in his conspiracy and sex trafficking case. The music mogul has pleaded not guilty and denied all allegations against him. Now his attorneys argue the search warrants for his homes were unconstitutional. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky joins me for more on that. Aaron, Diddy's lawyers say the government presented a grossly distorted picture of a reality when they were applying for these search warrants. How so, and how could this impact the case?
The defense believes the search warrant applications were overbroad, allowing the government to effectively rummage through all of Diddy's iCloud accounts, his homes, that the federal agents were none too shy when they showed up, with guns drawn. They also said that they didn't give the magistrate judge who signed the search warrant applications a full picture and excluded things that could be helpful to Diddy's defense and included accounts from some unnamed producer, for one, who they say was just not a credible witness.
Now, this also comes as one of Diddy's attorneys is stepping away from the case. What's the latest on that, and what are the next steps in this case?
Anthony Rico gave no reason other than to say he could not, in good conscience, continue to represent Sean Combs under no circumstances. We don't know why, but we can maybe venture a guess in that the defense had just issued a motion suggesting that prosecutors were racist.
The trial starts and the jury sits. Will they be shown these tapes?
100%.
Will they have to watch it in court? Or during
100% in court in front of a room of people. And so that's the other thing that's awful. They are going to be watching basically porn for hours on end in front of people. So in front of victim one, whoever it may be, there's going to be porn played in the federal courtroom.
And victim one would have been made aware of this?
Oh, 100%. She's probably being told right now, this is going to be played in open court. Your sex history, your sex life is going to be talked about in open court. All of this.
And presumably then she knows that and she's pushing forward because she hasn't withdrawn.
But don't forget this. It doesn't matter if she does or she doesn't. This isn't a civil case. This is the criminal case. So she could flat out tell the federal government, I don't want to participate. And they can say, we don't care. This is a crime. Crimes are against the United States, not against them. Keep calling her victim one, but don't forget, she's a witness to a crime. So it doesn't matter if she went to them in today and said, I'm not participating. Their response, we don't care. Get your on the...
Diddy is having a miserable time in prison, and if any of the alleged tapes showing him with minors get released, his life will be in serious danger. Right now, he is being kept in a special housing unit, away from general population, because pedophiles are often attacked or killed within the first 6 months of their sentence. And that's exactly what Diddy is afraid of.
So his entire existence is to sit in this little cell, essentially. He can shower 3 times a week. He's not getting any real visits. If his lawyer does a legal visit, they have to come upstairs into the special housing unit to see him. Now, have you seen these reports about all these commissary items they say that he could buy? Any of those?
What was one of them? Steak or something?
Ribeye, steak,
Yeah.
I mean, all kinds of nonsense. He's in the shoe, people. He's in a special housing unit. He cannot buy things off the regular commissary list.
It is not getting good reviews. I mean, not that it should, but you know, there should be basic human rights. And this place has faced intense scrutiny amid a spat of vicious inmates, you know, going after each other badly, complaints about dismal living conditions, including maggot-infested food, filthy cells, power outages. Apparently they go weeks without any sort of heat, which is, you know, not good, especially as the cold rears its head. These apparent conditions were brought to the spotlight during the trial of Maxwell, you know, I can't say the full thing, you know, the notorious Madame of Jeffy, when her attorney ripped the facility for the reprehensible and utterly inappropriate facilities. She complained about using the bathroom, which was an open sewer drain, rats running around, rotten maggot-infested food, freezing temperatures for roughly a week when an electrical fire caused all the light and heatings to go out in the building. Apparently, violence-plagued federal lockup made headlines when it was hit with the claims that the staff had allegedly covered up a knifing at one point.
More people connected to Diddy are about to be named in the case because they're starting to snitch on themselves. Despite all the damning evidence, some celebrities are still defending Diddy. The big question is, are they protecting him out of loyalty, or does Diddy have dirt on them?
Was people fucking each other, kissing each other, getting sucked, getting ate. I seen all that. That's typical though. So I don't understand how freak-offs can be a crime when everybody just gonna be fucking on each other anywhere. A bunch of rich people snorting coke and fucking on each other and drunk. If that's a freak-off, then I like to go back to it. I like to go back to a freak-off. I like fucking celebrity business, and that's the fun thing about the freak-offs. In my time when I was there, it was like celebrities was fucking each other. Like all the movie stars and all the actresses was fucking like it was nothing. They was on that powder heavy, but they was fucking. Hey, how you doing? What's down with you? Oh yeah. That's how I was. So I liked the freak offs. So I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but it was fun to me when I was young and I was there. It was fun to me. I was a kid in the candy store, looking at all these actresses that you grow up watching. You heard me. And these sucking dick and...
So that's that. Now, as far as Jay-Z's concerned, this can really go one of two ways. This might be an isolated one-off case that he has to defend, or potentially it could be a Me Too type situation where other victims come forward. Obviously, we saw that with Diddy and Cassie Ventura. So the coming days and weeks are really going to be telling. And Tony Busby says he has more than 100, maybe up to 300 victims he's representing. So it's going to be interesting to see if any of them also name Jay-Z.
And Nima, if such a high-profile name like Jay-Z has come out, could more celebrity names be tied to these lawsuits? What do you think we can expect?
No question. This may just be the first celebrity domino, and Jay-Z was unmasked as celebrity A, but let's not forget there's a celebrity B in that same lawsuit that allegedly witnessed the sexual assault, a female celebrity. And there was someone who went on CNN earlier this week and said that his sexual assault was witnessed by another celebrity as well. So I think we're going to see more celebrity names identified very soon.
All right, Nima Rani, thank you so much for joining us. As you said, this is one that has entered the court of public opinion. It's nice to have your actual legal advice.
With his legal team abandoning ship, more victims coming forward, and his closest associates flipping, the question isn't if Diddy will face justice, it's how much longer he can hold on. Do you think more names will get dragged into this scandal? Or is there still a way out for Diddy? Let me know in the comments.